Going to have a chat with Russ Jones, mostly to talk about DA-related topics, because why not? Russ, thanks for joining me. I appreciate it.
I'm excited to be here.
Thanks for having me at MozCon. I'm surprised you let me in.
Oh, well, you know, we lower our standards every couple of years.
Thank you. That's awesome. I appreciate it, because you have the little people come in also. So that's
well,
important.
actually, I mean, aren't you the most well-known journalist in our industry?
That's pretty sad. We have a pretty sad industry, I guess.
No, don't sell yourself short.
A little bit. But for those who don't know you, can you tell the audience who you are?
Sure. I'm Russ Jones. I'm Principal Search Scientist here at Moz. I joined Moz in 2015 after being a consultant, Chief Technology Officer at a small search marketing agency out in North Carolina. At the time, I would consult and build software on the side. Ended up selling a company to Moz, and now I do software. Well, mostly research and proofs of concept.
So you don't code much anymore?
I do code a lot, but it never makes it into production.
Okay.
like I said, they're proofs of concept, and then we hand it over to the real engineers, the guys and girls who have, let's say, a proper education.
So you and Pete kind of joined the company the same way as consultants.
Yeah, and what was actually really surprising to me was that I became an employee slightly before he did, although he had been directly associated with the brand for much longer.
Right.
He just hadn't been a full-time employee. So it's yet another reason why I'm better than he is.
And before you had your own company, you said?
Well, I was Chief Technology Officer, so it was owned by a guy named Ryan Ellis, who's the CEO, or former CEO of iContact. But yeah, I mean, it was a small enough organization that, we never grew to more than maybe 30 employees, and we were given a great deal of freedom. So yeah, I would say that there were 3 or 4 of us who kind of ran the company, and it was
awesome.
great. Yeah.
Your day-to-day job. Tell people what you do outside of responding about DA.
Right. Yeah. So there's a number of things. So I'm responsible for the keyword search volume throughout our products. So there's a period of maybe 3 to 5 days at the beginning of every month where I'm rebuilding the models. After that, it depends on what new product feature I've been assigned to. So the subject matter experts are essentially internal consultants trying to say, okay, we can build this product, but this is what's actually going to help search engine marketers do their job. So I get to do a good bit of that, and then at least some percentage of it is just pure research, trying to come up with ideas on things that might work in Google and things that might not. And that's really the part that I love the most. It's very unique to Moz in this sense. There, as far as I know, aren't any other major SaaS organizations that have invested as much in research and subject matter experts as Moz has.
Awesome. And one of those things is you're known for is the DA. Is that your baby, the DA, or no?
It's partly my baby. So there was
so DA is domain authority. It's a metric.
Correct. It's our attempt to predict the likelihood that a website will rank in Google based solely on the link data that we have about that domain. So there are all sorts of misconceptions about it. Obviously, Google doesn't use it. It doesn't predict, for example, the value that you'll get from a link from that domain. It's not what it does. It predicts whether that domain will rank. But yeah, there was a team of about 5 or 6 individuals, and we built some competing models, but I was the subject matter expert on that, and it was just exciting to start actually looking at an index the way Google does,
right?
And seeing, how do we make decisions about what's spam and what's not, and what's a reasonable threshold at which some sites might unnecessarily get penalized by DA, while others at the same time will be removed that should be out of the index.
And DA came about when? A while back, right?
Yeah. So the original creators of Domain Authority were part of the original team for MozScape, or LinkScape at the time, which was before my time at Moz. And this was the first serious revamp. Before, it was all about links and nothing about spam.
Right.
People often thought that spam score was integrated, or thought that we had somehow figured out ways to devalue. We didn't. At the time, it was just trying to predict with links and having no negative signals. And that obviously changed in the latest update.
Right. And with that latest update, can you describe like what's the biggest change with the linked update, with the new DA scores, I guess?
Sure. I think the biggest thing that we've done is that because we have this whole new link index, we started looking at distributions of links that are coming to you. So you can imagine the old DA would say, how many root linking domains do you have? How many links do you have from edus or .govs or something of that sort? We'd all throw it together into some machine learning algorithm and predict search rankings. Well, we recognized that people would leave patterns not in those really raw granular metrics, but in the distributions. So, classic example. A lot of companies and organizations would refuse to acquire links or would only pay for links that were, say, above a DA 30 or something like that, even though that's not what DA is for. Well, what this did was leave just obvious patterns in their distributions of links, because you'll see that instead of like Google, where most of their links are DA 0 through 10, and it just goes down like that until some of their links are DA 100s, these sites would go like this, and you'd see a jump in the middle, and then it would come down, which was because they were creating this artificial pattern of acquiring links with higher DA. And it's just stupidly easy for a machine learning algorithm to pick out those types of issues.
It's just amazing to me that you had to actually do something because people were abusing DA, a non-Google metric.
Yeah, it's frustrating. Yeah. But at the same time, we recognized that it was being used by our community in ways that we would prefer not, but at the same time, we felt obligated in any way, shape, or form to do as little harm as possible.
Do you miss Google PageRank?
No, not at all.
You don't miss it?
No.
Does the marketing team love what's going on around DA?
I think we're proud of the new version because we can show that it has systematically rooted out a lot of spam. But at the same time, we're already starting to see organizations find ways to bump up their DA, and so it's going to be the same cat and mouse game that Google does. But our next big step is improving page authority, which actually correlates a lot better with search rankings than DA does. And at that point, hopefully, people will be able to make much better decisions about where they're trying to get placements and whether or not their link building campaigns are being successful.
What are your thoughts on the negativity in the SEO community? Obviously, there's a lot of positivity. People love DA, people love what Moz does, but there is a group of people that are negative about the whole concept around DA. What do you think about that?
I think it's fair. I guess DA is one of a large number of metrics that are available. And when an individual is, like, say, a consultant is judged on domain authority, which is a relativistic metric, I can understand why they would feel that it's unfair. So, for example, your DA can go down if Facebook, for example, next month decided to launch a Messenger widget, and now you could put Facebook Messenger onto your site, and they pushed it really hard, and they got 1 billion new links. Mm-hmm. Your domain authority would go down because Facebook went up, but that would not in any way, shape, or form reflect on consultancy doing a bad job. And it would also still be just as predictive a metric of rankings, because all we're doing is changing the scale. We're not actually changing the order.
Right.
Facebook's still at the top. So I get the sensitivity there, but at the same time, as SEOs, we have responsibilities to educate our customers about what they should pay attention to and how to give proper context to different metrics that we show them.
In your Twitter bio
says Google does not use DA because everybody asks.
Nobody reads your Twitter bio.
Yeah, so. Well, the picture does too. It says Google does not use DA.
Set an autoresponder.
Yeah, absolutely.
How many questions do you get a day on like DA?
Most of them are private, and they come from individuals who didn't read the blog. And it's like, you should have read the blog post. The reason why your DA went down is for X, Y, or Z. For most websites, the reason why their DA went down is because the majority of the links that they acquire are coming from sites that have little to no traffic.
Okay.
So of the many distributions we looked at, one is, are you getting links from real sites? And if you're using a private blog network, those private blogs are getting 0 traffic. And if you're getting links only from sites with no traffic, then it's a pretty big red flag.
Right. Yeah. Anything you want to share about what's upcoming new with Moz?
Yeah, absolutely. Local market analytics is our big new thing that we're launching. We've decided 2 years ago that we were going to focus on search. And we realized that distributions or listings distributions in local search, while it is a part of search, it is not all of local search. In fact, about 40% of the clicks, even when there's a local pack, still go to organic. So we decided that we needed to do more than listings distribution. And much to the chagrin of many of our customers, we made this partnership with Uberall, and people were like, well, you're just abandoning local search? And well, reality was a month later, we're launching this new product that revolutionizes the way that we collect SERPs. We use a multi-region sample so that you get a better idea of what it would be like to search for that keyword in multiple locations in a city. We're able to give local search volume down to the neighborhood level. And I actually think it's going to change the way we do rank tracking in the future altogether. Mm-hmm. Everybody's said for a long time there's no such thing as a national SERP.
Right.
That's right. But what we could do is take a sample of all of the cities across the country, blend that, and end up providing you the much more realistic look of what an average American or Canadian, whatever country we're looking at, would see in the SERPs. And we're not quite there yet, but I think that's really where the future is.
But people can check this new product out.
Yeah, you can already do it with local marketing analytics. You do have to sign up to get in line. There's a lot of people who are onboarding, and because it's a new technology, we're trying to provide a little bit more hand-holding than we would in some of the other product feature launches. But yeah, it seemed to have a warm reception so far.
Awesome. So where can people follow you, learn more about what you do?
I'm on Twitter, at rjonesx, and then it's all Reddit. So you can be in big SEO, tech SEO, and then I like to, if you really want to run into me, go to any forum that you're debating stuff, and I just like to argue. So,
awesome.
But it won't be about SEO.
Won't be about SEO. Okay, good. All right, very much. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it was great. Awesome.
Thanks. That was an awesome conversation with Russ, talking about DA and how DA has kind of formed its own beast. We're starting the sessions right now, so I'm going to sit down.